Hi everyone, my name is Liz Whitaker and I am the founder and CEO of Pawlytics, and I'm super excited to be able to show you this super quick demo of Pawlytics so you can get an idea of all the different features and how we can help save you time and get you off of spreadsheets, Google Drive, and all the various programs that it takes to run your animal rescue, bringing it all into one centralized location. Check it out. Okay, let's hop right into this demo. So once you create an account and you log in, you'll see this as your dashboard. So I can see my organization's name here. In this demo, the rescue's name is Rescue Hypothesis, and this is their logo. Now from your dashboard, you can always see your quick statistics or your numbers. We can look at our intake, our adopted, transferred, and euthanized. Right now we are looking at our month to date, but we can toggle over to our year to date as well as our all time. If you are a brand new rescue and you have old data that you would like to get into Pawlytics so that you can see these all time numbers, we can absolutely do a data import for you as well. All right, for the next part of the demo, we will move into, of course, the most popular section in Pawlytics, the pets section. So the pet section is, of course, where all of your pet data and information is going to be stored. As I scroll through here, I can see a list of all of our pets. This is, of course, all of our pets. And if I go to the top and I want to search for something particular, I can search for a pet's name, or I can use their microchip number or an internal ID that I have given them. Now I can also toggle between incoming pets, pets that are currently in our care, and pets that are previously in our care. So past pets have had an outcome of some sort. Let's go back to all. I can, of course, filter through any kind of filters I would like of species, age range, gender, size range, and their status. So let's say I am the cat coordinator of an animal rescue. I can choose the cat filter, leave it there, and anywhere I navigate in Pawlytics, whenever I come back to this section, the cat filter will stay. I can also sort by different options as well. Maybe I want to sort by their intake date and I want to look at the most recent intakes that we've done of kitty cats. I can see our most recent intake is in need of a foster home. So let's go ahead and clear these out. All right, I can also see that I can download pets as a CSV. So if I want to download my pets back onto a spreadsheet, I can do that and run any sort of reporting I would like on that spreadsheet. Now I can optionally click into a pet here to view a pet's full profile, but let's walk through adding a pet first. So first I'll click this Add Pet button up here. I will add my pet Skipper. I'm going to be adding a dog today, so we're going to go ahead and give him some information. He's going to be adoptable right out of the gate. We'll give him a birthday. You can type in dates. I like to use the date picker. He came to us already neutered. We're very lucky. And let's say he is a 60-pound dog. And we're going to go with an American Staffy. Okay. So I can select my intake type here. If it's an owner surrender, I can note the day that he's coming in. We'll go with today. What type of intake he was. He is healthy on his condition. And who is the person who is surrendering? We will go with Doug. Now when I hit save, I can of course add an image right at that point in time. I'm going to add an image from here. Let's look for Skipper. Okay, now that I have Skipper's pictures pulled up on my computer, let's go ahead and add in this cutie's photo. And let's go ahead and choose these others too while we are at it. Now I can see Skipper's very adorable photo shoot in his file. Now if I want to add more information down here, such as his description, behavioral details, diet, and family, I can do that by clicking Edit. Let's go ahead and showcase that he is great with dogs, cats, and kids. He's also house trained. He does not have a bite history, and I do not think he needs an experienced adopter. Update those behaviors. And now I can see that information reflected here. I can add multiple family members together. If Skipper had come in with siblings, I could add them here. I can give him more identifying information in here. And I can update his diet information in here as well, which is really helpful for go home instructions. Now, let's say I did want to add a microchip number. We decided to microchip him before he goes home. We're going to use home again. Type in his number and update microchip. Now, let's say I am a foster-based animal rescue and I want to move Skipper into his foster home. So I need to update his current location. We're going to go ahead and select foster here, and we are going to assign his foster to Erica. Update location. And now I can see he is with Erica, who is a foster. And if I click on Erica, it will actually take me to Erica's person profile. So now I can see Erica is indeed fostering Skipper. We'll go back to Skipper's file here, just so I can see more information, and I can update description information in here as well. Now, what's really cool about Pawlytics that I like to point out at this point in time, and we can review this in the partner section at the end as well, but we do actually have an integration with Home Again microchip database for registering microchips. If you choose to turn on that integration with them, then every single time you add an outcome event of an adoption, so let's go ahead and adopt this boy out. Then we will adopt him to Erica. Erica's going to foster fail today. We'll create our outcome event. Now that I've saved that adoption, we are going to send Home Again's database Erica's information as well as this dog's basic information with his microchip number here. It will auto register Erica as the new adopter to his microchip for us within 24 hours of the adoption and send her an email. So now I don't have to worry about registering him or reminding Erica to register him either. We do offer an integration with Pet Finder as well that will send tons and tons of information to Pet Finder every 20 minutes. So it does keep your Pet Finder account incredibly up to date. We are currently working on our Adopt a Pet integration, and that should be released shortly. All right, now let's go and look at a pet that already has some information in there so we can see what medical and notes look like. So we're going to look at Monty's file here. You can see this is quite dog skewed today. When I look at his intake and outcome, I can see he was an owner surrender from this person named Cody. If I move over to his medical section, I can see what medical work has been done on him thus far. We did a rabies vaccine, and I can see, and this is demo, of course, so the data is not accurate. You do not give a dog 2 different rabies vaccines in a row. But I can see vaccines when they expire. I can see that this medical has a note on it as well as a medical reminder. So let's go ahead and add a new medical event. Why not? We're going to make it today at this time. This is for a demo, but you could say this is a basic wellness check. We're going to select the clinic that we go to as well as the veterinarian he has been seeing. And we'll input the amount of the visit. Maybe it was a really cheap basic check. So now I can see that right here. When I click into it, now I have the option to add medical items to it. So you can see how we made those vaccinations. Let's go ahead and give him some other basic vaccines here. We did it today, manufacturer, serial number, and any additional notes. We don't need to add notes on this one though. So you can see how it starts to build. Let's say we went and also did a fecal. Let's go ahead and give him a fecal result. And the fecal was negative, which is very exciting for Mr. Monty. He does not have to be on medications. Now, if I want to add more notes, we can say brought the fecal to the vet appointment with us. He would not give sample at last visit. Save note. Alrighty, now I can see my note here. I can also add documents. Let's say if I wanted to upload the receipt from the veterinarian or the vaccination proof, I could do that here in documents. And the most favorite fan feature of Pawlytics here is medical reminders. If I click add a reminder, give HeartGuard, maybe he was given HeartGuard at this visit. Who do I want to remind? So his foster is Press Tilton. Let's say I also want to be reminded so I can double check that everything was done. make sure to give Monty his meds. And then I can set this to repeat monthly, and I can have it send via email and text message. I can select what day I would like it to go off. We're going to go ahead and give it to him on the 1st of every month, so I see that's coming up. And he should be good to get it for the next year, but hopefully he's not in foster for that long. So let's go ahead and set it for the next few months here. We will set it to go through February. Create reminder. And now I can see that reminder here, who it's going to the 1st of every month at this time. And it's a reminder to give his heart guard. So that is the medical section. If I go back to medical event, now I see that information reflected here in the collapsed view. I see the note that I made and the reminder I made on this visit as well. All right, we are going to move over into the notes section. So notes is very straightforward. You can add and edit your own notes, and you can view other notes that people have made from your team on this pet. I can add a note now. This is a new note about Monty. And I can hit save, and you can see I can edit and delete my own notes. I cannot edit and delete my teammates' notes. And then when I move over to files, I can see files that have already been uploaded and attached to this pet. If I download the record, it will actually open up in my browser so I can view it first. This looks like a dog shot record. And certificate of surrender from when he came in. I can also view it in my browser here. And if any contracts have been signed in relation to this pet, they will automatically be stored in this pet's file section. If I wanted to upload a document, I would just click Upload Document, select what I would like to upload, and there it is. If I would like to delete it, now I can go ahead and delete it, and now we're back where we started. All right, the final thing to show you in the pet section is Actions, Export PDF. So if you would like to send an adopter home with all of this information, you can build this PDF, download PDF, and all the information is going to be in his record here, including his diet information, his medical as well, which is of course very important for the next adopter and veterinarian working with this pet. And it will also grab all of his notes and add your logo at the bottom. All right, that is the pet section. Next up, we will be moving into the people section. I do like to show the people and applications section together because they work in tandem so well. And you'll find that applications is really going to be a big helper in creating and building your people section or filling it out with, of course, all these people. So first, let's just get a brief overview of the people section. So in here, you are free to store any kind of person's information from donors, adopters, applicants, fosters, volunteers, and more. To add a person, it is as simple as clicking Add Person at the top, filling in this information that you would like, selecting any tags you would like to give them, and clicking Add Person. Now we're going to go ahead and actually just go back to the people section. You'll see that in the people section, you can also search by a name, a phone number, or email. You can also filter your list as well by city, by state, or by the tags that they have been given or that you have given them. Let's say we want to pull down a list of all of our adopters. Then I can download this list as a CSV, and I can utilize this list for an email campaign, or more commonly, we are also seeing people using mail campaigns as well, where you can pull down their location information as well. So everything will get dumped into that CSV. Now, if I remove adopter, let's go ahead and look at someone who does have some information in here is Press Tilton. Press does have some information. I can see his basic profile. I can see applications that he has filled out, adoption and foster. I can see tags that he has been given both through filling out applications as well as ones that our team has added. I can see Press's adoption history. It looks like he adopted data from us on 9/22 of 2022. If I click on data, I should see the same information reflected in his intake and outcome section, which I do of an adoption on the same date to Press. And when I click on Press, I get back to his file. If I click on Press's foster history, I do see his foster history that has been built for us. It looks like he foster failed Data the kitty cat, and it looks like he's currently fostering Fig and Monty. Now, if I click back on Monty, I should see that information reflected in his current location, and I do. So I can see that he is indeed fostering Monty right now, and that is reflected in his foster history. So the foster history is built by you selecting the location in the pets file. For example, in Fig, we also see Press is the current foster. As that animal has an outcome event, that will automatically assign the foster end date for you. Now in People, we also have notes and files that work identical to the pet section, where you can add a note, and you can always save the note and edit and delete your own notes if you would like. I'll go ahead and delete my note here. And then same files, you can upload and save files to a person's section here. I can see that these are files from a home visit, and just like in the People section with files, if I click download, I can view the image or PDF or attachment within my browser. And I can close, or I can optionally download it from there, and I can delete these if I would like as well. Now with applications, these show up when they apply using the email that we already have in the system. So this is actually an example of a person profile that was already built for me via the application section. So now I'm gonna dive into applications really quickly. Looks like I accidentally had something there. In the applications section, I can see that I have 4 options for applications. Now, you can use these however you would like. These were the most common that we see in animal rescue today of an adoption application: foster applications, volunteer applications, and surrender applications. Now, we're going to work within the adoption application section today because that is likely going to be the most common. So you can have completely custom Q&A applications or forms, as you would call them, embedded right into your website through Pawlytics. So this is an example of a Pawlytics application. We of course have this as an example on our Pawlytics website, but this is just an example to showcase the types of Q&A that you can have. You can have really any kind of question and answer you would like in your form, and we can even do conditional formatting of certain questions. If they answer a certain way, you want them to answer more questions. Now, you can also optionally have this question of which pet are you applying for. If I click add as the adopter or applicant, I can select the pet, go through, fill out the basic details, and then hit submit or apply. Now, a few wonderful things happen when that person hits apply. Your organization is going to see that person come up in here. You will also receive a notification email, and that applicant will receive a confirmation email that their application was successfully submitted. Now, when you view this person's application in Pawlytics, you'll see that come in with this new tag up here. You can see different tags are being utilized throughout here. I'm going to click on Brock. Now with Brock, I can see his answers to our custom Q&A here. I can see his basic details have been pulled out to the left over here, that his status of his application is new, the type he had filled out was adoption, his name, the pet he is interested in applying for, his phone number, email, address, and the date he submitted the application. Now, what's nice about them selecting the pet that they're interested in adopting is that it creates a link between the pet and the application. So now I can view the pet. I can go back and read the Q&A to make sure that he might be a really good fit for this dog, and vice versa. Now, why it pulled out these basic details is it actually automatically created a person profile for me. So we know that we're in the application section now. If I click on Brock, you'll note that we are now in the people section, and that is actually how his person profile was created. He filled out an application, and I see his information in here. Through his adoption application, it did give him a tag of potential adopter as well as adopter waitlist. And then I went in, or one of my teammates went in, and we added available foster, and we noted that he does have dogs and cats as well. So nothing to save there. Now, if I go back to his application, click view here. Once I've started working on it, I can update the status to let my other teammates know that I have made contact with him. And as I keep going through this application, I can continue to update the status that now we are pending a meet and greet. And we do have lots of other statuses available for you to use. Now let's say I was done working on this application. I can always archive this application to remove it from my view. The application will still be accessible through his person profile. And I can always export this as a PDF if somebody wanted to print it out and have it on paper and mark it up as they had a conversation with this potential adopter. Now I'm not going to do either of those, but now let's go back into my list of applications here. Now in this list of applications, you can always search by the applicant's name, or you can filter down by status. So if I wanted to see everyone who is an approved no match, because maybe we just got a new intake in and I want to see if anyone's already a good fit, now I can filter through this list of approved no match and start contacting people to see if this might be a good fit for our recent intake. That is how applications and people work together. It is really nice to have your applications create your person profiles for you because it really does reduce the level of data entry that you are going to be doing. Now, in Press's file, you might have noticed that we do have a foster application in his as well. If this person comes back and applies using the same email or submits the form using the same email that they used previously, then it will create the link to the applications based on this one person file. It's not going to keep creating multiple person profiles for you. Now, if you did utilize e-contracts, which we will touch base on towards the end near organization settings, you can also send an e-contract from this action button. You'll be able to select the contract and completed contracts will show in this person's file. For example, if we look at my example file here, you can see that I have signed a contract on dog adoption contract on November 7th of 2022. All right, that is the people section and application section in combination. Next, we'll move on into the partners section. All right, so in the partners section, this is really your Rolodex of business information of organizations or for-profit businesses that your animal rescue or animal shelter works with frequently. Now, this could be shelters, other rescues, vet clinics, businesses that donate, grooming facilities, transporters. I mean, the list does go on. You can see this organization is tagged with just about every kind of business. Now, you might notice this name, Rough to Better Vet Clinic, from the medical section in Monty's file when we created that new medical event. So you'll note that really these types or the labels or the tags, however you want to call them, given here are actually really important when it comes to where these partners will show up throughout your Pawlytics application. Now, I can give this organization a logo, and I can also see their basic details here that I can add or edit to. And their types here, I can click edit, and I can say this is also a business. They're a boarding facility, an animal shelter, and a vet clinic. Let's go ahead and remove this shelter here, and I'm going to update my type. So now I can see the updated reflection here. I can add general information here that this is very much a clinic we use for dogs. And these are the primary contacts at this clinic. We have Dr. Victoria and Doug Hopper. I assume that this would be the person I would speak to at the front desk, and this might be the veterinarian that we prefer to utilize at this clinic. If I go over to the people section, I see those primary contacts. And like anything in Pawlytics, you can always add notes and files to a partner clinic, in any type of partner organization in here. Okay, let's go back out to partners. So you'll notice that some organizations are just animal rescues or just animal shelters, and I can see the primary contact here. Why your type is important is that animal rescues, shelters, transporters, and clinics will all allow you to select this organization as an intake or outcome type. And if you have someone selected as a vet clinic, this will allow you to select this partner organization in the medical section as the vet clinic that that animal saw, and will allow you to select any of the vets when you add the partner of person, Dr. Victoria Stillwell, as a vet to this organization. If I were to hit add contact, which I won't here since she's obviously a vet at the other organization. If I were to hit add contact, now every time I select Choice Rescue Partner, If they had a vet clinic tag here, then I would see the doctor show up in my medical section as well. So these types are really just important for where you want this partner to show up throughout Pawlytics. If you don't need them to show up anywhere, then you can still have them stored in this section where you can add notes, files, and information like contracts or notes that they donated to your organization or that they're letting you do special adoption events or boarding as an option as well, or if they're your preferred groomer or animal trainer, you can have them stored in here as well. Now, all of the people that you're seeing in your primary contacts are coming from your person list, which come from people as well as users. And every time you add a new person, if you wanted to create a new person right from here, you can do that and say create new. I would hit enter, and that would now add this new person back to your people list as well. Now that we have reviewed partners, we are going to pop into users and reporting, as well as your own user settings, and organization settings will be last, and then we'll circle back and finish on payments. Very exciting. All right, so you can see that users we treat very similarly to people, with the exception that these users have a login to this Pawlytics account. So you can see all the users that have a login to this Pawlytics account. I can always filter by our users. Of course, we are all listed as admins. But you can have unlimited users in your account. We've definitely worked with organizations that have upwards of 30 different users in their account. We've also worked with organizations that have 1 or 2 as well. You can see that we are all admin. Whoever creates your account will automatically be an admin. And I can always search for users by their name here. Now, when I say that we treat users like we treat people, if I look at Sarah's profile here, I can actually see her adoption history. She adopted Soju from us on 4/19 of 2020. And if I go to Soju's file, I will see the exact same information reflected here. Now, in users, you'll note that we also give you the ability to track your own foster history and your own adoption history as well. So in all the drop downs throughout Pawlytics where you need to select a person of some sort, with the exception of medical section, it is grabbing your entire people list and your entire user list as well. Now you'll notice that within my profile, there are no edit buttons. So there's no way for me to edit my own details or any type of information like that. To do that, you'll do that in your user settings. If I wanted to say edit one of my teammates here and change their permission level, I can click edit role. I'll see the roles and permissions here, and I can select what role I would like them to change to. I won't do that on here. Now let's say we are expanding the team and I would like to add another person, or I have an internal foster who I'd really like to add information to her own pet. Then I can go in, click add user, put in her email, her name optionally, and select the role of what I want her to have access to. Now in this example, if I want the foster to be able to enter information into the pet section, then I'm only going to assign her as a pet specialist so that she only has access to the pet section. And then I would click invite. Clicking invite will actually send an invitation email to her email address. And this new user will need to click on the invitation inside of the email to make sure that she joins the right account. Okay, so now if I wanted to change any information, say update my profile picture or update my address if I moved, how I can do that is by clicking on my own little icon up here and click on settings. Now I can see I am in my user settings. Now in my user settings, when you first create your account, this will be our typical Pawlytics logo. When you hover over it, you'll see the edit and you can add your own profile picture here. I can update my profile details here. And I can always reset my password by clicking reset password. Now, if I want to change any of my local settings, I can do that in here for my own personal account. This will change my time format, my date format, as well as I can change my time zone. Now, your time zone will always auto set to the correct time zone that you are in, but if you are traveling, you can always come in here and update it as well. And if you are an international rescue, then you can always come in here and change your date format of how you would like to see dates throughout your Pawlytics account. And if you're into military time or 24-hour time format, then you can select that as well. Now, I will not do that on mine. All right, now that we've reviewed users and your own user settings, we are going to hop into reports and reporting really quickly. So this reporting section is visual reports. Now these are your bar graphs and your time series charts where you are studying your intake and your outcome by dog and cat. So if I go ahead and click into my annual intake summary by month, I can see over time how many animals we have taken in to our organization. Now let's say I'm the cat coordinator of this rescue and I don't need to look at our dogs because I want to understand our cat numbers. Then I can remove the dog data point and see how many cats we've taken in each month. We can of course see the spike over kitten season. Now, many organizations will actually come in here, take screenshots of these visual reports since they are so nice and clean, and utilize this to go get grant funding or to encourage a donor to donate around a certain period of time. And you can do this as well by looking at historical graphs. So if I go back in time and look at old years, then I could say, hey, in May, we know we're going to be very busy. So if donors could start donating in April, that would be so incredibly helpful. Now, these other charts, annual intake or annual outcome by timeline by month, allows me to go in and see it by the type of intake or by type of outcome. So now as I roll over March, I can see that we intook 2 strays, 2 owner surrenders, and 2 other kinds of intake. And I can see more information as I move around on here. Now with anything in Pawlytics, let's say I don't want to study all of this at once. I instead want to look at our stray intakes over time. So I can go ahead and remove all these other data points, and now I'm just looking at our strays over time. I can see we had a pretty big spike in July, which makes sense around the warmer seasons, and things start to calm down in August, September, and October as well, and took a little micro spike up in November. Again, I can come in here and screenshot this and prompt donors to be donating to our organization to showcase that we are very busy in July, and maybe now in August we're needing more donations to help take care of all of the animals properly. These are strictly visual reports. They are not custom reports, and so if you're in here trying to find a way to edit these reports, you are not going to be able to. At the moment, we highly suggest utilizing your download CSV buttons here to get more information for reporting, or your download list as CSV for people reporting here as well. These are visual, and we plan to expand this section in the upcoming months, and we're very excited to be opening this up to custom reporting shortly. All right, we're going to move into the payment section here. So when you first hit the payment section, it is actually going to ask you to start by filling out your payments application. Now, this is because the money will never actually flow through Pawlytics. The payments will actually go directly from that cardholder's account into your business's bank account. And so you'll need to go through and fill out the application here. If you are a nonprofit, which mostly everybody is, you'll want to enter in the code for charitable organization. And so I type in charitable, and I click here, and then I can go through and fill out our business details here. Tell us about yourself. You're going to enter in your business information, so that's the nonprofit information. If you are a nonprofit and tax exempt, you'll want to click yes on this question, fill in your EIN, and hit save and continue on to the next parts of the form. As you go through and fill this out, don't think too deeply about it. Like, it does seem like an overwhelming application, and as you go through and click through to your details and all the payment details, it's going to ask you questions about average ticket size and things like that. Really, the processor and underwriter that we utilize, we are probably the first organizations that are nonprofits that they've been working with. And so a lot of this was designed for for-profits in terms of this application process. So answer the questions as a nonprofit. Ticket size really means your standard sale, which for a nonprofit is your average donation or adoption fee. So you can think about it in that lens, and you don't need to be so overly specific in this. When I went and filled out the application for my own business, I truly just bullet pointed my answers out and did 1 sentence to 2 sentence long answers. for how people picked up their dogs or their cats after they are adopting them, and so on and so forth. So don't stress too hard about this application. If they need clarity or more information, they will CC me in an email to you asking for more clarity, and you have the opportunity to clarify. The goal is always to get you guys to get these applications completed and approved, and it is truly not as stressful as it probably appears. So once you go through and fill out your application, it will be sent to our underwriter to make sure that we are not allowing any fraudulent applications or fraudulent businesses, or rather non-businesses, be able to accept money through our payment processor. Our processor, we do only charge a 2.9% convenience fee from the payments running through Pawlytics. There is no additional 30 cents or additional charges either. So it will take a few days to get approved because, again, we are making sure that everything is very secure and that no fraudulent activity is happening through Pawlytics. And so once you are approved, I will email you letting you know you are approved, and then you'll be able to see this kind of dashboard. It will, of course, show all zeros for your account. But from this, you can see your transactions, and you can see how much you've made each month on this graph. It looks like in August, we processed $500 through our Pawlytics account. Now I can process credit cards in two ways, or debit cards as well. First, I can click process credit card payment. I can enter in the amount and enter in the cardholder's details myself and enter in the receipt email address of who would like to get the receipt. Now, once I enter in all these details, I click submit. I only need to click submit once because once I do click that, it will run their card. And then I will see that transaction show up here, and I will see the transaction number go up here. And then I will also see the transaction reflected down here. Now I can see my most recent transaction. I just recently ran $1. If I click on this $1, I can see the transaction ID, which is going to be important for any refunds. And I can refund this transaction here. Now I can do partial refunds. So I can choose the amount and I can explain the reason and then click refund and void. And then I can let the person know that it will take 5 to 10 days to appear back in their statement and in their account. Now, when I had gone through and ran this person's card for $1, so I can see the transaction amount, that it was a credit card for $1 here, I will actually have the receipt automatically sent to them. So this is an example of a receipt for this transaction of $1. It will have your organization's logo, your organization's name, this cute little thank you photo, and then the receipt of information here. That transaction ID is going to be here, so if they ever do come back and need a refund on anything, they can give you a transaction ID so you can run that refund. Now, the second way for people to donate is you can actually place an iframe or an embeddable widget right into your website or on a web page for capturing donations online, or if you want to set up a special link for adopters to be able to pay their adoption fees at, you can do that as well. This will allow them to go in, select the amount, that I can say $250, or I could do a custom amount of $300. I'll hit continue, and now the adopter or donor themselves can put in their own details, their own credit card information, and hit donate now. This will automatically send them a receipt to their email address where they can actually track all the donations they have given to your organization through this widget or iframe. And so they're able to come to you if they need refunds on anything, or to just track how much donations they've given throughout the year. Now, let's say someone is giving you cash or a check, or you want to mark down an offline payment or donation. You can always add offline payments in here. We can say someone handed me a check, 1, 2, 3, 4, at this recent event. You can really mark down however you would like. Hit submit, and I'll see that it already added up in my total for November and added another transaction to my transaction data here. I can see this right here, offline check, and I can see more information as I scroll around in here. So just a reminder, you can scroll right to left in here as well. And you always have this export CSV button, which bookkeepers and accountants absolutely love. So if you do have a treasurer, bookkeeper, or accountant on your team or working for your animal rescue, you can always export this CSV so that they can combine all of the bookkeeping that they're doing. And that is the payments section. Now you may have noticed that I've got this little bell icon next to my name with a number 18 floating by it. You do actually have a notification section in Pawlytics, and it will notify you about medical reminders. So I can see that I can open it here and close it, very similar to old Facebook. And when I click View All Notifications, now I'm viewing my list of notifications. So I can see the ones that I've had today, yesterday, and last week, and so on as I go throughout. Scout, obviously, it takes a lot of medication. And I can see the ones that have not been read yet, and so I can come in here and mark them all as read. If I were to click on this, you can see it's clickable, it would actually take me to Scout's profile. And that is your notifications. They are primarily, well, rather exclusively for medical reminders to date. All right, we are going to jump into the final section to showcase here, which is organization settings. Now within organization settings, we'll be showcasing some additional features and functionality that you might not notice throughout the rest of Pawlytics. So let's go ahead and get started. So once you make your account, it will automatically create your organization's name and you'll be able to add or update a logo here. If you want to edit any of your details for the animal rescue or animal shelter, you can do so in here. And you can review your billing dashboard, which will showcase old invoices and allow you to update your credit card information as well. You can give yourself a nice About Us statement or mission statement, and your edit buttons are always going to be in your top right corner. Now when I move over into pet settings, I'll see my pet export here. Pet Finder you can toggle on, and you do need to email them to set it up. Now this Pet Finder export exports pets from Pawlytics over to Pet Finder. So it doesn't do the reverse of taking pets that are already in your Pet Finder account and moving them into Pawlytics. This is an export from Pawlytics into Pet Finder. We do keep their data up to date every 20 minutes. And so how you'll set this up is you need to request your FTP account by emailing them here. I've pre-written an email to make it a little bit easier. Make sure you change the spelling as well. And then they're going to email back with an FTP username and FTP password. This is not your Pet Finder Pro login information, so do not enter your Pet Finder Pro login here. You do need to email them to get the special FTP username and password that you'll enter in here, and click Start Exporting. Once you click Start Exporting, your pets will start sending to Pet Finder about every 20 minutes. Sometimes their export, or rather their import, might take a few hours to actually display that on their website. It just depends on the day. Now down here, you'll notice adoption email attachments. So if you have attachments or packets of information that you send home with every adopter, regardless of the pet that they are adopting, you'll want to turn this on so that it will do it for you automatically. Now you can see in this example, we have it turned on for this rescue. We have Bringing Kitty Home, a guide to animal introductions, as well as a dog training PDF that goes with every single adopter. And that way we don't have to edit it if they're bringing home a kitty or edit it if they're bringing home a dog. They just get everything and they can download it all. And maybe they have other pets at home that this information might be useful for as well. So now when I go and add an outcome to a pet of adoption, it's going to auto email the adopter this packet saying thank you for adopting Gilligan from your rescue. It will give them some helpful tips and a free or 50% off of their first flea and tick treatment if they so choose. We've added some pet safety tips, and down here at the bottom, they can download their adoption paperwork. They click download, and now they see your organization's page, your logo, as well as all the guides that you have included. If they click download, they'll view it in their browser, and they can actually optionally further download or print it from there. All right. Now let's move over into forms. So these are your custom forms and applications that you have set up so that you see them in applications in Pawlytics. Now, if you want them embedded into your website so that people don't have to leave your website to fill out a form, here is where you can find those snippets of information to embed into your website. Over here is settings. Now this is really only going to be important for international organizations who are not based in the United States. All of this will be set correctly if you are based in the United States, as it auto sets to US everything. But if you are an organization based outside of the United States, you can edit your local settings for your whole organization to change the defaults of your phone country code, the default of your currency, and the default of your measurements for units such as weight of the animals. Over into metric. So I'm going to go ahead and cancel this one because we are actually based in the US. And then the last section in your settings to review is your e-contracts. Now this is a paid premium feature. It does cost an additional $1 per every signed contract. And you can see you can set up as many kinds of contracts as you would like on your own. I would do this by one, it needs to be toggled on. Then I can add a new e-contract. Let's go ahead and just write this one as a test contract. All right, now you can see that we've got auto tags to fill in sections of your contract so that you're not having to rewrite stuff over and over. And then you can build information in here. And you can give it different headers and format it in different ways, utilizing all these little tools of information in here. Now, I don't want to sit here and waste our time, so let's go ahead and look at one that has already been set up, such as our cat adoption contract. Now I can see our cat adoption contract has been formatted to fill in the adopter's information for me, the pet's information for me, and our information at the top so that it looks really nice for them. And then here is the contract where it's going to fill in their name, our org name throughout it. And then I would hit save if I was actually building this. That was just me reviewing it. Now, if I actually want to utilize these contracts, one, I have to make sure that they are turned on. And I can either do this from a pet or person file. So let's go ahead and do it from the perspective of a person file. I am going to have this person sign a contract, which is really just me. I'm going to click Actions, Send e-contract. And I am going to select the contract that we are going to have them sign. I would like her to sign it in relationship to data. And I would like it to notify me once it is done being signed. So I've sent contract link. I can see that it has been sent off to be signed. And I do actually have this email here. So I can see signature request for a cat adoption contract from Rescue Hypothesis. Now if I click read and sign contract as the adopter, I'll see my contract here with all that information auto-filled for me. I can see the pet information in here and the contract here. And then I'm going to go ahead and sign with my finger or with my mouse and hit submit. Now it's showing me that contract is submitted. It's showing me the organization's name. And now the organization person sees the contract successfully received. The representative from the rescue can see who signed it and what pet it was in relation to. And they get a signed PDF version in their email, as well as the person who did the signing will also get their signed copy in their own browser here as well, where they can see their PDF version here. And now if I go back into Pawlytics, let's say I left this page, I come back, and then I'll navigate to this person's files, and boom, here is the signed contract that I can download right back to view it again, and it auto-stored for me, so I did not have to do anything. And if I navigate over to Data's file, and I view his file section, I do see the same cat adoption contract, the person who signed it, and the date that they signed it. So that is an overview of some of the extra functionality that you'll unlock in organization settings. Now, something that you don't see in here is that Home Again integration. To do that, you'll want to utilize our knowledge base to find how to do that. So I can open this, search articles for Home Again. how to integrate your microchips with Home Again, and I can follow the directions in here. I do have to fill out an application so that they know that I am sending my microchips to them, and then that will be taken care of for me through Home Again and through the Pawlytics admin team. It is not currently done in your settings, although we will be adding that to the pet exports settings section in the future. The last thing to showcase on Pawlytics is, of course, how to get help if you are wanting to get help or you're not sure how to do an action within Pawlytics. So you can click here, how to use Pawlytics, and this will get you to our knowledge base where you can search for information on how to do things. You will also find helpful articles such as setting up your payment information. When you click to these articles, it will include a video as well as walk you through how to do all of these different things in Pawlytics. Now you can click here to get to that knowledge base, or you can open this and you can also use that same search functionality in here to find all of the same articles. Now let's say you've gone through all of our help articles and you still cannot find an answer to your question. You can hit this chat and this will open up a live chat with one of our team members, and we are incredibly quick to respond because we understand that there are live animals on the other side of your organization. So we want to be as helpful as quickly as possible. So chat is the best way to get a quick response, as well as email. And we do offer support through Zoom calls as well as phone calls, or really any way that you're needing assistance for yourself or anyone on your team. The last few things I'll mention to conclude the actual technical demo is one, Pawlytics is mobile and tablet friendly. And so we do not have an app you can download per se, but if you come in here, you can actually search app. Does Pawlytics have an app? And we can show you actually how to pin Pawlytics to your phone as a option on your phone's background screen so that it can act sort of like an app for you. But everything within Pawlytics will fit to the correct screen size, whether you are on a smartphone, a tablet, or your desktop or laptop. So that means if you are running around and incredibly busy and not able to sit down at a computer, you can still use all of Pawlytics from your phone. This is great if you are in a shelter environment and you're going kennel to kennel, or if you are a foster-based animal rescue and you're driving around between adopters and fosters and vet clinics and all the crazy responsibility that comes with running, managing, or volunteering for an animal rescue. So you can utilize that article to pin it to your home screen so it can be utilized as if, or as quickly as if it is an app. Now, we did recently add a new service providing for organizations where we do website development, design, and hosting. So this is an example of a website that we built rather quickly for this organization. It does include a lot of different pages that you'd see across any animal rescue's website, including donation, foster and volunteer pages, surrender pages, and of course embedding in their Pet Finder adoptable pet iframe. So if you are in need of a new website or a refresher website, don't hesitate to reach out to us about our web development, design, and hosting service. Now, what I like to end on as well is that Pawlytics has insulated ourselves with many fantastic partners. A few you might recognize out of the gate, such as Home Again and Pet Finder, but we do work with other organizations in the animal or pet animal companion space, such as Companion Protect, that offers wonderful pet insurance specifically for animals that have been adopted through an animal rescue or animal shelter, as well as Pet Friendly, that offers fantastic flea and tick protection year-round that can actually be auto-shipped to your front doorstep every single month so that adopters don't forget about giving flea and tick. Now, lastly, it would be great if you guys could take the time to read our Pawlytics About Us. We are actually a benefit corporation, which means that we are obligated to our original mission, which has always been trying to use technology to reduce needless euthanasia in animal shelters across the United States. Since starting Pawlytics, that has actually become more of a global mission as well, with so many organizations coming from international waters to utilize Pawlytics. Now, I am the founder and CEO of Pawlytics, as I stated at the beginning of the video, and this truly has come from my love of working in animal welfare over the last 15 years. That's why I formed this company as a benefit corporation, to ensure that whether it was me running it or a much larger team running it, that we were always focused on our core mission of saving animals and prioritizing homeless pets first. So if you want to read more about our mission and how we got started and how we are just like one of you, except we took the technology route and we hope to support the work you do, please visit our About Us section on pawlytics.com/About Us to read more about how we got started and why the mission of saving homeless pets is so important to me and my team. Thank you guys so much for watching this demo. I really appreciate your time and look forward to working with you and your animal rescue and saving of animals in the future. Thank you so much for your time. Look forward to speaking with you soon.